You good to go? Okay, buying a used vehicle. When you buy a used vehicle, we need to specify whether you're buying from a dealership or you're going to be buying it privately off of like Marketplace or Kijiji, or you're going to buy it privately, okay? When you're buying it through a dealership, you're going to pay a GST and RST. PST is now called RST. I don't know did I talk about that already? I'm not sure. Private, you only pay RST. Okay. So when you go for a dealership, you're going to pay both taxes. If you go private, you only pay the one tax. Okay. MPI, because we're going to talk about insurance as well. MPI stands for Manitoba Public Insurance. That's right. Most of you already know that. You probably have a driver's already. Congrats, by the way. In Manitoba, car insurance is provided by a Crown Corporation, and you can buy insurance online or through an Autopac agent, also called a broker. I don't know if you go to all these little vendors at the mall or whatever, those are brokers. They're like insuring your car on behalf of Autopac, on behalf of Manitoba Public Insurance, okay? Safety inspection, prior to insuring a vehicle in Manitoba, like if you want to register it, you need to pass safety, okay? And a safety is actually called a COI, okay? You need a certificate of inspection, and that certificate is valid for 12 months. So let's say you buy a car, it has just been safetied. You can drive around for almost a year and use that same safety to sell it again. Okay, you don't have to safety it within 12 months, you're still good. The document has 3 copies, a white, a pink, and a yellow. The person buying the car gets the white copy. I learned this the hard way, okay? The person gave me a yellow copy. I go to Autopac to insure. It's like, oh no, we need the white copy. I have to drive all the way back and get the white copy. So make sure you get the white copy. TOD stands for Transfer of Ownership. Document. Transfer of ownership document. Let's go to page 95. Hold your finger on this page, okay? Don't lose this page. Just want you to go to 95. This is a TOD. If you go to the back to 95, it is blue. Okay, it is blue-white, bluish-whitish. And usually it's in your glove compartment. Every car has one of these. Before you buy a car from a person or a dealer, make sure you get this document, and it needs to be signed off here. Whoever owns the car needs to sign off on it. Autopac will not insure your car unless you have this document on you, okay? So the person that used to own the car has to sign here and say, I'm releasing it to you. I'm releasing it to the buyer. One other thing you want to make absolutely sure of, watch this, is that, where is it right now? Anybody see the serial number? Yes, there it is. It's hard to see. I'm going to zoom in. I just don't want to lose my page there. This serial number right here needs to match the car that you're buying from. Like the car you're buying, by the windshield, usually on the windshield by the driver's side, there's like a little slot with a serial number. Did you know this? I hope you knew this. Every door, every part on the car has the serial number as well. And I'm just telling you this because there's a lot of scammers out there these days. Okay, don't fall for scammers. So be smart about what you're doing. So when you're buying this from a person and you're not so sure, when they give you this TOD, make sure this matches, okay? Otherwise, they're going to take off with your money and buy money, right? You're never going to see that again. So that's your TOD. Can I just show you, go to 93? If you zoom out on this, this is exactly what a safety looks like. All of these things need to be checked off, okay? Every single thing that you see on here, like there's like tail lamps, stop lamps, hazard lamps, like all of these things are checked off. And what you want to look for is that your safety, that the pass, that is circled or checked off, okay? That it has pass safety. And this throws some students have told me this, Mr. Dirks, and my car had an X on this fail, unsafe, and then it had one here on the pass. That's okay, because it means that it failed the first time around, but then repairs were made, and then it passed. So as long as the pass is checked off, you're fine, okay? So, and they need to show you what part was fixed, right? That will be indicated there. One more thing, go to 94. You can actually take this if you want. You can take a picture of this and then print it whenever you're ready to buy a car. But this is a bill of sale. So you need to have a bill of sale in order to actually purchase the car and to register it with Autopack. And so we'll have your name and the seller's name on here, the date and all of those pieces of information, the year of the car, the make, the model, the VIN. The VIN is like the serial number, which is a long number with letters, and the mileage. Make sure you write that down. And you both sign, and now this is your official paper. So, to reiterate, this is very important. You need a safety, you need the bill of sale, and you need the TOD. Otherwise, you're not going to register the car. Autopack will not insure the vehicle, okay? Obviously, you need a driver's license, okay? That's like a whole nother story. But for the car itself, you need these three pieces of information. These documents, I should say. Let's go back to 14. Am I boring you? I apologize, but you need to know these things. Bill of sale. Make sure that the VIN number, the VIN number is on there. This is on page 14. We went back to 14. Purchase price is the actual value paid for the vehicle. Can I just highlight this? It may be more or less than the book value. What in the world is the book value? Here it is. Book value. Very, very important for used cars. Okay? It is a value of the car based on its make and age. It does not always reflect the actual market value. It is a reference point. You can call Autopack and ask for your book value. If you're planning on buying a Honda Civic 2014, you can call them. Any Autopack agent is like, what's the book value for that car? And they'll tell you it's $15,000 in our books. Okay? Trade-in. I'm going to use a different color for trade-in because that's important. Trade-in, if there's a trade-in, subtract from the original price, of course. Parts and labor. Any parts and or work done, as well as parts being replaced, are taxed PST and GST. Any work is taxed 12%. Lien search. Give this a different color so it sticks out. A lien search is a legal claim or a legal right against assets that are typically used as collateral to satisfy a debt. A lien is established by a financial institution. It guarantees, right, that there will be a repayment of the loan. No taxes on this. Let's give that a different color. Let me tell you what a lien is real quick, okay? Short story. This is your car. Sorry, I know I'm not very artistic, okay? This is the bank. You, okay? If the bank gives you a loan, they say, hey, and you go buy that car. Can you see that? I don't know, it's very small, I know. The bank has like a virtual chain on that car. What does that mean? It means that if, let's say, you take a loan on this car in Manitoba and you drive to British Columbia and you're like, haha, you will never get me, right? They can look up that car in British Columbia and they can look it up and be like, wait a minute, the bank owes you, they own your car in the meantime. Until you pay it off, they have legal rights to your car. So a lien is kind of like, it's attached to the bank until you pay it off. So lien is very important to search it. If you use Carfax, anybody familiar with Carfax? Carfax, it's a website. You pay a little bit of money, and then you can actually search up that car and see if there's any lien on there, if there's any like history of damage or whatever on there. So you want to make sure when you buy a car there's no lien on it, because they can literally take it from you. They can take the car if it comes out that it belongs to a bank. Okay. Let's keep going. Dealership versus private. I'm just telling you one more time. If you're buying used from a dealership, you right here, you pay 12%. If you're buying used private, you don't pay GST, you only pay PST. Okay, this is where we're at today. Used dealership, used private, okay? Next, formulas. Make sure you have used vehicle as the heading. Okay, used vehicle. I would add this to my study sheet for sure. This is study sheet material guaranteed. I want to explain the formulas though, because as they are, they may be confusing, and some students, UD stands for used dealer. Please tell yourself that on a study sheet. Don't just go UD and you're like, what is that? Like, I don't know what that is. Tell yourself what that is. But just like before, you take the sticker minus the trade-in, right? You add 12% tax. And watch this. Safety is only taxed 5%. Okay, guys? Safety in Manitoba is only taxed 5%. That's why it's 1.05. 5% tax. Okay, that's why safety is only times 1.05. Plus, any parts and labor that are mentioned, any kind of repair that is happening gets taxed 12%. Okay, so 12% tax. And a lien has no tax. That's why a lien, if there's a lien search mentioned in the question, you're just going to add it and that's it, okay? But this part right here, I'll just say when it's from a dealer, usually not needed. Because when you're buying from a dealer, they will already have taken care of the safety. They will already have done any work, parts and labor, and they will already have done a lien search. Dealerships are not stupid, right? They want to make sure they don't get some sort of car that is compromised. So they will already have taken care of all of this. So when it's from a dealer, this is usually not there. But it doesn't hurt to have it in your formulas, okay? On the other hand, watch this one. This is where it gets interesting. Used private. You want to put the purchase price down, and then it's either the purchase price or the book value. It's the greater of the two. Make sure you have that written down on your formula. So you're either going to use the purchase price of the car or whatever the book value is that is stated. And you're going to multiply it by 0.07. Make sure you have this down exactly like this. This is essentially the PST. You're going to figure out how much tax you're going to have to pay on that car. Then safety is taxed 5%. It's times 1.05. Parts and labor times 1.12, just like before. And last but not least, the lien search is never taxed. That's why you just add it. If you tax the lien search, you're going to lose a full mark. Okay, so no tax on the lien search, okay? You're still with me, right? I know it's long. I try to make these shorter, but it's just so much information. Okay, guys, just making sure you understand. I think you already got it from before. Is there always going to be a safety mentioned? Then you just don't worry about that. Is there always going to be parts and labor? No. Right? So this formula could be really short if there's nothing mentioned, or it could be all of this, right? If everything is included. So be careful there. What else? There's one more thing that I want to mention. I will just do it as we get along. I do want you to highlight this, and I would say this would be awesome to add to your study sheet. Both formulas calculate the total cost after tax. Do not add taxes again. Some students do all of this. It's beautiful. You get to your final answer, and all of a sudden, times 1.12. One more time. Now you're double taxing. It would be pretty crappy to live in a world where you get double tax, right? Hey, taxes on taxes. Actually, that does happen sometimes, but just keep that in mind. So I want to jump into the problem. I do. Parts and labor, guys, what does that mean? Parts could be oil for your car. It could be windshield wipers. It could be headlamps. Anything that's done on the car is considered parts, and labor is the amount of hours that were spent fixing it. So we combine all of that and we tax it 12% every single time, okay? So whenever you have a parts and labor question, there will be instances where all they talk about is parts and labor. Just remember that you know it's 12% tax if there's any taxes needed, okay? So keep that in mind. Let's keep going. Let's jump in and do some examples here. You agree on a price of $12,999 for a used car. We're in the used car and it's at a dealership. They have to tell you, private or dealer, okay? If it's a used car, you add a remote starter for $499, and the dealer offers you $3,500 for your old car. That's my trade-in. Okay, that's the trade. How much is paid in total, including taxes? I'm going to use this formula. Used dealer is sticker minus trade. Okay, that's just not right. Let me redo it. Sticker minus trade times 1.12 plus safety times 1.05 plus parts and labor times 1.12 plus a lien search. That is what you would probably have on your study sheet, right? It's the exam. You're like, okay, it's a dealership. It's probably this one. Let's plug in what we know. What is the sticker price? 12,999 plus the remote starter, right? Command start. All these nines, right? What's up with that? There we go. 13,498.99. So that's just an aside. So I go back to the original. I go 13,498.99 minus the trade-in times 1.12. And now I do the part that I really enjoyed, satisfying. Do I need to worry about safety? Doesn't talk about it, right? What about parts and labor? Mr. Dirksen, isn't the remote starter like a part? Yes. What does parts and labor, what does it get taxed? 12%, right? What does this part get taxed? 12% also. So we already included it in our sticker. So if we do it here, please don't also include it over here. So I will just say, for my case right here, parts and labor is not an issue. There's no mention of a lien search. That's also gone. So in a sense, this is it. This is it. Okay. So I'm just going to subtract. If you subtract these two, you get 9,998.99 cents. Sorry. I already subtracted 3,500. What am I doing? Times 1.12. And now I'm going to do my dollar sign. It's 11,198.80 what? What does this round to? 87. Yeah. And there you have it. Clearly indicate your final answer, okay? Get used to that. I don't need sentences, anything like that. I just need you to tell me this is what's answering the question. And please don't go back and say, oh, wait, what? Including tax, times 1.12 again. Please don't do that. You already taxed it. It's enough, right? Let's do one more. If you got the hang of it and you think you got this, you're free to keep going, right? Do your own thing. I'm not going to stop you. Joel finds a Jeep Wrangler for $24,900. I like to highlight the numbers. And it's a private seller, right? So it's private, as is. The book value of this car is $32,000. There's a $65 safety and a $30 lien search. Let's go. What's the price after tax? It's a used private, so it's purchase price plus purchase slash book times 0.07 plus safety times 1.05 plus parts and labor. Is this gonna work? I hope so. Plus lien. I made it. That's always the case, right? You get ambitious and it's like, wait a minute. There we go, that's my formula. And I'm gonna plug it in. Purchase price, that's what you agreed to pay for the car. So 24,900 plus. Which one is the greater of the two? It's 32,000, right? So you must use 32,000. The government is going to want to maximize the taxes they can charge you. No surprise. No surprise. There's a safety, correct? Safety, 65 bucks. I think it is probably more by now, but I need to probably check, do my homework on that. Are there any parts and labor mentioned here? They're not, right? But there's a lien search. So I'm going to go plus 30. Okay, just tack that on. That's my lien. Please clean it up. Don't rush to your final answer. 32,000 times 0.07. So the taxes you're going to pay for this car is 2,240 plus 65 times 1.05, 6825 plus 30. Now you can add it all up. Okay, so I already have this on my calculator. I'm going to go plus 30 plus 2240 plus 24,900. And here's your final. 27,238 and 25 cents. This is it. Do I need to multiply this by 1.12? And this is probably why. I'm just trying to think how students think. They're like, taxes is always 12%. I don't see any 1.12 anywhere. So I'm just going to slap on a 1.12 on there and be safe, right? The thing is, when it's private, you only pay 7% taxes, right? You only pay 5% if there's a safety. So, do you know why there's a book value? Why would there be a book value for taxing purposes? What if I sell you the car for $1? Right, we're friends, and I'm just gonna like, hey, I'll sell it to you for $1. You pay 7% on $1. The government only gets 7 cents. Yay, right? So it's to prevent you from cheating on that, on taxes. So no matter what, you're gonna pay your taxes, right? Maybe not as much. You can still, I know that people sell it, they call Autopack, what's the book value? It's this, so they make sure they don't put on the bill of sale higher than the book value, right? Because otherwise you pay more taxes without needing to. That's up to you what you want to do. I wouldn't encourage that, but keep that in mind. Just in addition to this, okay? What are we at time-wise? It's running short. If it's at taxes only, we would just go 2240, like this part right here, plus, what did we pay in taxes here? What's the difference? $3.25, right? It was a $65 safety. We paid 5% on it. So it's $3.25. And we didn't pay any taxes on the lien, right? So that's it. This is just it. It's $22.43.25 if they asked you for taxes only that you would have to pay. I'm going to stop here because you have to put up with enough, right? Enough is enough. And so 17 does more with parts and labor first. I do walk you through parts and labor, and then we'll kind of work it into our final price, okay? So I'm just going to ask you to try. Why don't you just do page 17, okay? And in class. And I'll say no homework. I'll give you a little bit of class tomorrow to do the rest. So your homework is page 17 if you don't finish it. And I'll put the answer on the screen so you kind of know where you're at, right? So I'll just write it down in brackets. So I'll just tell you what it is. If you want to write it down.